How's it hanging, YouTube? Welcome back. It's your pal Peter and Efrain as ever. And tonight we are doing our usual comic book show where we look at the comics coming out in a few months' time. Efrain, how are you doing, bud? Are you well?
I am doing well, Peter. And I've said this before in the past, all the shows we've done now throughout the years, this is the one that I enjoy the most because this is like our origin stories. We first started, buying comic books, reading comic books at such an early age in our lives, So this is the one that I always like the best, the one I look forward to the most.
It's interesting you saying that, Efrain, because I've got a book to show off tonight, which absolutely links to what you've just said about what origin stories.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to showing that off. And absolutely, we do a lot of shows together. But this is the one that's really focused on comics rather than pop culture and TV and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, we like to talk comic books. And you'll note, ladies and gentlemen, that because we're talking comics, there's reading on the screen. I'm leaving my specs on so I can actually see what the hell is going on. I look very bright compared to you. I feel like I'm sitting on the surface of the sun. Let us switch some of these lights off or else, hang on, can I reach? That's better. That's better.
Yeah. That's better.
Right. Let's see who's in the chat. We've got Paul, Mr. McGroovy. Good to see you, pal. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. We've got Wayne. Hello to Bill and Ben, the comic book men. Fair enough. We've got Ian. Nice to see you, Ian. Hope you're doing well, pal. And we've got Ash in the chat. We've got Connie. Connie, I hope you're feeling a little bit better. Connie's had a bit of an accident and quite nastily broken her leg. So I hope you're on the mend, Connie. Hope you're on the mend. We've got Jack. Arrested Jack. Always good to see you, my friend. Always good to see you. How are we doing tonight? Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Efrain, you doing well tonight?
Yeah, doing well. I got to work later on today. It's only 12 o'clock in the afternoon over here. So I'll be working about 4:30. I'll be working. So
yeah. Not sure a red shirt would be on the surface of the sun. It won't end well. This is my special top just for you, Andrew. I might not make it. Star Trek top. Yeah. I wore that in Star Wars, Steve. Pod Racing Palpatine, always good to see you as well. Hope you're well. Everybody's saying get well soon to Connie. That's nice. Thank you. I've made it up the stairs for the first time in 31 days. Wow. And I'm no longer sleeping on a sofa. It's a big day for the party. Very good. Very good. Okay, right, ladies and gents, let's crack on because we've got lots to get through tonight. As I've said, this is mine and Efrain's comic book show that we've been doing for 3 years now, Efrain.
Yeah, I think it's our longest running continuous show for sure.
Yeah. So we've been doing it a while. We do like to play around with the format a little bit, and we've recently done that. So if you've not watched the last episode, we have moved things around slightly. This is what you're going to get on tonight's show. We're going to be looking at the books coming out in June, I believe. Efrain's picked 10 books that jump out at him. Books that we'll recommend you pick up. So we'll talk through them. We're going to look at some of our personal collection. We're going to look at in back issues. We're going to look at a raw book and a graded book in our own collections. We've then got Pete's premieres. So I'll be looking at the top 10 issue number ones coming out in June, and there's some crackers. We're then going to show you off a sketchbook from our collection, talk a little bit about the market, and we're going to look at graphic novels tonight, which is interesting. Talk a little bit about some second print covers you might want to look at. A couple of quick reviews for you, and then a sneak peek at next week's comic books. So tons of comic book content for you to geek out with. Efrain, are we ready? Are we ready to rock?
I am ready, sir.
Marvelous. Well, we're going to start off with Efrain's top 10. So these are books coming out in June 2026. And let's start off with this.
Yes. So just to let you know, every book that we pick, we read. So we're not just going for the covers. These are books that I actually enjoy reading. And, so Alien King Killer #3, written by Saladin Ahmed, on the xenomorph infested planet Sovereign, humanity has already fallen. The augmented human Idris is among the few survivors, but he is now a prisoner of his brother, the Green King. But even if Idris can escape, he must then confront what awaits just beyond the protective walls of Green King's compound. I've been reading Alien books now for about 2 or 3 years, and to me, they've just been hitting them out of the park. I mean, even the Marvel crossover ones, I'll be talking about that later on also. But I just have really been enjoying these books. And to me, we see the 20th century logo on the upper left-hand side. And these books, at least to me, they feel like they could be a movie. You know, I really have been enjoying them.
Yeah, no, I have as well. I've been really enjoying I mean, Alien and Predator have been around in comic book format for a while, really, but I didn't really take much note of them until they came over to Marvel. Although I did read remember back in the day, there was a DC Predator crossover, Batman versus Predator.
Oh, yeah.
I remember reading them. But I've really enjoyed a lot of the stuff. The Alien versus was it X-Men or Marvel Avengers? Can't remember.
Yeah.
The series that was out last year was really good. Really good.
That was really good. Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Good pick. Good pick. I like that one, Efrain.
Yeah.
Next.
I've always been a fan of this book. When it first came out, I just had a feeling it was going to be a hit all those years ago. I can't believe they're at issue number 48. But this is a continuing series. And Free Comic Book Day, they had one, The House of Slaughter or something like that. I'm reading it right now. So in that book, just a little side note, Erica Slaughter, I think she's going after them, but she's kicked out, you know. So, but anyways, this is Something is Killing the Children, number 48, written by James Tinian. The hunt at the lodge continues as the Slaughterverse intensifies. As Jessica Pass's experience at the lodge the key to their survival? To fully eliminate the threat, Erica and Jessica will have to face a treacherous pack of monsters in the woods. Will they be able to save the other visitors and leave unscathed? Like I said, I just have been enjoying this book from the beginning. Can't believe they're at coming up to issue 48 already. Yeah. I highly recommend reading this book.
You got an issue number 1, Efrain?
I do. And in the back of my head, when I seen this title, I go, this is going to be a good issue. But as usual, I only bought like about 1 or 2 of them. Yeah. I go, damn it, why didn't I buy more?
I mean, it goes for good money now, issue 1, I think, close to £1,000, I think.
Yeah.
Because I think from what I've heard is the development of a TV show on there. I think there's something coming out which is bound to boost the price of this, I guess.
I've been hearing that for a couple of years also.
Yeah, great series. Yeah. I tend to read it. I don't read it issue by issue. I read this one I like to collect the nice big hardback editions.
Yeah.
So I've read the first one. I've got the second one to read, and I just picked up the House of Slaughter hardback. So I'll be reading them at some point. Oh, look at this.
Daredevil, everybody, and not everybody, but if you know me, you know, Daredevil's my favorite character. So whenever there's an issue of his, you know, coming out, it's just, he's been so, you know, after a series ends and they reboot it at number 1, they just find ways to make, to me at least, to make it more interesting. This is Daredevil number 4, written by Stephanie Phillips. Out of sight, out of time. Matt Murdock is being pursued by the new and dangerous Omen, a violent offender with a trail of corpses in his wake. He means for Matt Murdock to be next, with only Daredevil between the two. So he has broken up with Elektra again, Daredevil, and that ended with that previous run ended with Kingpin coming back, and he's trying to become some kind of godlike entity. And then it went over to this new series where he's basically by himself again. He's estranged from Foggy Nelson, you know, because things that Foggy went through because of him, they're not really in speaking terms right now. So he's just trying to get by with his life again.
So 2 things. First of all, when we do a little review section at the end of the show, I'm going to be talking about the latest issue of Daredevil, which just came out this week, Daredevil issue number 2. And Efrain, I have said it to you many a time. Daredevil, the TV series, will need to get you up to date with that. Last night's episode, wow. I'm not going to do spoilers, but those of you in the chat that have seen it, there's a scene where, because we've flirted, haven't we, in the TV show and then in the Hawkeye show, at what Kingpin's power level is. Sometimes he's played as just a normal human. Other times he's kind of almost superhuman, as he is in the comic books. Well, this episode, he cuts loose for about a couple of minutes scene in a hallway, and by the gods, put it this way, my wife turned her head away from the screen because it was a bit too violent for her. But yeah, tremendous episode, great series. Recommend people check it out. Next.
So this is Jessica Jones, Alias. This is like volume 2 of Alias. They had this by David Mack, cover artist. God, it's probably been over 10 years since the first Alias came out. I never read that one. I don't know why, but I have been reading this one. and she's basically estranged from Luke Cage, who's now the mayor of New York, but she's technically not a private eye anymore, but a murder occurs, and Luke's telling her, don't get involved in this, but she does. And she teams up with Typhoid Mary. And even right here it says, the twisted trail of Jessica and Typhoid Mary's murder investigation leads to a butcher shop and Hell's Kitchen, but these aren't your ordinary prime cuts. Demonic monsters are being created from the meat, and Jessica and Mary must stop the monsters at bay before the butcher descends. Another reason I like this series, but I mean, everybody likes Spider-Man, all these costume heroes, and this one, she's not a costume hero, basically. Yeah. She still has her superpowers, but she's trying to solve these murders. And she's trying to keep below the radar of her husband, which is the mayor of New York. So all this is going on, and like I said, she's teaming up with Typhoid Mary, who's just crazy. So it's been a good read for me, at least so far.
It's not a book I've ever really gotten into, I have to be honest. I did love the excuse me, the original TV series, particularly with David Tennant.
Yeah.
And again, if you're a Jessica Jones fan, well worth checking out the latest series of Daredevil again. Would you say? Mr. McGroovy is saying, Daredevil, I love this Efrain guy.
Thank you.
Check him out. He's got a great channel, Paul. If you've not subscribed, go check him out. Ian is saying the Dark Horse versions of Aliens was very good. Yeah. I think I've got a trade paperback, Ian, but I've not read any of it yet. I need to pick that one up. But yeah, great series. This is interesting.
I haven't read issue number 1 yet, but I don't even believe that it's out. But recently in a Batman series, Barbara Gordon got arrested and she's behind bars. Like I said, issue number 1 hasn't come out, but I've really been getting into Batman and Nightwing, and Nightwing and Barbara Gordon, they're dating. So, but she's in jail right now, and Barbara Gordon is alone in prison and outnumbered by the very criminals she put away. Without her team, she's going to fight to survive on her own. Someone at Supermax has her in her crosshairs. Barbara is being hunted, but she's about to learn that in prison, there's nowhere to hide. Written by Mariko Tamaki. I'm keeping my fingers crossed on this issue. I've been reading more and more DC books, lately within the last 5 years. And, Batgirl's always been like not a little, but a sidekick to Nightwing and Batman storylines. So hopefully this is a good series.
Here's a question for you, Efrain, and for those of you in the chat. I'm a big Barbara Gordon fan. What do you feel about her being out of the wheelchair? Because I really liked the character of Oracle and the development of Barbara as a character.
She still plays Oracle every now and then, but she is out of a wheelchair. She was in a wheelchair for the longest time. I remember she got some kind of implant for her to be able to walk again. To me, it seemed like a natural progression. They kept her in a wheelchair long enough, and they gave her the ability to become more than just Oracle. So I myself liked it.
Yeah, good stuff. Terry, looking forward to that Barbara Gordon mini. Yep. I'll take Barbara in or out of the chair over all the other Batgirls. Yeah, that is a good point, Andrew. Yeah. That is a good point. Zatanna,
another one I haven't read. This is the latest series that come out. There was one before that which I enjoyed. I've always enjoyed Zatanna, but it takes me a while to read her books because I'm always trying to. When she says her spells, they're backwards, so I have to stop and when I read them. Like this one, it says Regnad. I think that's Danger. So it takes my brain a minute to figure out exactly what she's saying. But I like this character, and I never knew years ago she used to date Batman, I believe. But they had like a little thing going on for a while. Yeah, when they were younger, never went far, but yeah, they knew, they got together when they were younger. But this is Zatanna number 3, down by a bullet, enchanted with unknown magic. Zatanna is in dire straits. Can she survive by tapping into her newfound power as the prime magus of the universe? Okay. So, like I said, I read the previous run of this book and I liked it. So I'm, like I said, I'm just reading more and more DC books. I'm not just a Marvel guy anymore.
Yeah. Expanding your horizons. Now, Efrain, I'm going to be really honest, because I think we always are on this show.
Sure.
I hate that cover. I'm sure the book's great, but the cover does nothing for us. It's. I don't even know what I'm looking at. Do you know what I mean? It's too much for us.
It almost looks like webbing.
Yeah, Zatanna for me is your top hat fishnet.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
I'm presuming they've redesigned her in some way, and this is a new power set or something. But I don't know. I'm just not a fan of the. It wouldn't make us pick the book up. But yeah, it's an artist subjective. I'm sure a lot of people love the cover. Now, I couldn't find the cover that you picked for this. There's multiple covers for this one, but this is a great little series. I'm enjoying this.
I have been enjoying this from the very beginning. It's bleeding hearts. There's, the world, is full of zombies, but there's this one zombie, who gets his heart back and his humanity back, and he's trying to hide it. Obviously, you see that picture right there from the other zombies. And the last issue I read, he helps a family escape. You can tell this humanity is coming back, and he's obviously confused. He doesn't know what to do. So this is Bleeding Hearts #5, written by Dennis Camp. Even zombie friendships can be tested. Can an unwitting act still count as betrayal? Poke and Mush's friendship is at its breaking point, but can you fault someone for indulging their natural instincts? With Poke's secret becoming increasingly hard to keep, it may end up being a question he must answer in front of the entire horde in their most sacred of spaces, a shopping mall. Every zombie story that I read, is Walking Dead, humanity against zombies. But this one, gives it a 180. What if a zombie started turning into a human, so to speak? Yeah. So I really have been enjoying this series.
It's cracking. It's a great little series. The artwork's great in it as well. Interesting story. So yeah, this is definitely a one for people to pick up. Really enjoying this book. Really enjoying it.
Yep. I picked. Everybody always talks about Absolute Batman, which I do enjoy. But to me, I mean, maybe a little bit below that one. I have been enjoying Absolute Superman. This is Absolute Superman. It's already issue number 20. Wow. Absolute Superman's greatest battle yet. It's Superman versus King Shazam versus Hawkman versus Redacted, and the greatest battle of the Absolute universe has ever seen. But who is their mystery challenger? This is just, to me, has been an enjoyable series. This one, along with Wonder Woman, when they first came out, I wish I had bought these books when they first came out, but again, I didn't. But I just have been enjoying Superman. They were able to make it interesting, Superman, with a twist, with all these Absolute characters.
Yeah, I think the Absolute universe is being really, really strong. I think there's only really Absolute Flash I didn't particularly engage with, but the rest of them have been great. Been really, really good. Yeah.
Yep.
Excellent. I knew you'd have to pick a J. Scott Campbell cover. You love a bit of J. Scott Campbell, don't you?
Okay, of all the books that I picked, this is a cover buy. Okay, that's all I got to say. This is J. Scott Campbell, which is one of my favorite artists. Black Cat variant number 11. Black Cat versus the Punisher. I'm sure they've probably met in the past, I would assume. I don't know. The Uncatchable Thief versus the Killer of Killers. That's all the title says. I just thought it was a neat looking cover, and this one would be a cover buy for me.
Yeah, I love that classic Punisher look as well. Not without the shirt on, obviously, but yeah, it looks cool. Yeah. Looks nice. Jake Scott Campbell's a master, isn't he? His artwork is absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. And then I think this is the last one.
This is Space Ghost. I have never, ever read a Space Ghost comic book, even when he had his own TV show, The Talk Show, back in the day and late at night. I never got into this character ever, but it's written by David Pepose, who we have interviewed. So to me, he's a really, really good writer. So whenever I see a book of his, I always buy. And this is like volume number 2 or 3 of Space Ghost. And this is the final issue of Space Ghost season 2. There he goes right here. Cotton Tempest's doomsday weapon, the Time Shredder. It looks like time is running out for Space Ghost unless Jan and Jace can assemble a team from across the multiverse to save him. So to me, I have just really been enjoying this book a lot. So this is the last issue of season number 2. And it looks like he's going to be getting some help from some other multiverse characters.
Yeah. Again, I know we've talked about it before. Space Ghost, I don't think was particularly big over here in the UK. But I did enjoy it. I've only read a few issues of this. I have to confess, I didn't read it all. But yeah, it is a good, and I love the cover artwork. Okay, let's just quickly jump to the chat, see what people are saying. Terry is saying more great covers with the Zatanna series. Can't get on Facebook or Instagram at the moment, no idea why, so apologies if anyone sent me a message. We've got Andy in the chat. Nice to see you, Andy. Hope you're doing well, pal. Paul, we'll have to ask him for an interview. I think I mentioned Efrain's name to Paul a little while ago. From maybe check him out if he buys him dinner. Okay, guys. So this is the part of the show where we'll have a little look at some back issues. So we're each going to show you a CGC book and a Raw book, and talk a little bit about why they are books that are important to us. So, Efrain, I shall start off. I picked this up recently, and it's just got special meaning to us. Now, you, I think, don't get these in America. These are Christmas annuals. So it's a hardback book which collects comic book stories. And basically, every Christmas, loads of people kind of get them as, or used to get them as stocking fillers and Christmas gifts. So this is from 1987. The reason it sticks in my mind is I was 10 years old in 1987, and I remember getting this. And I think we've talked a lot about origin stories. I think this is one of the books that helped me start to fall in love with Marvel in particular. So this is the Marvel Superheroes Omnibus, super-sized value book. Excuse me. It's got a stunning cover, which I think is a reprint of an American book. I think it was an Avengers book, with a whole host of different headshots. This was £3.75. You get a little price. If you are collecting these, you'll notice quite often these little price points are clipped out for some reason. But the reason this jumps out at us is you get a whole host of stories in it from different comic book runs, all reprints, Efrain. But you get this incredibly cool X Factor story to start with. You get Spider-Man in the black costume, little tail there. You get an Iron Man tail, which was really, really cool. But the ones that stick out most for me were, I never really read a lot of Incredible Hulk, but you get 2 issues of the John Bryan series.
Oh, wow.
John's artwork is just phenomenal. And this is the issue where, I don't know if you've read this one, where he comes across Doc Samson. And he's basically hallucinating. The Hulk is hallucinating, and he's seeing loads of different foes. So he's seeing Doc Samson as Juggernaut there, and then MODOK, and Abomination makes appearance, Rhino. And it's just an absolutely brilliant battle in nice large-scale format. So I fell in love with that, made us take an interest in Hulk. But then it's got an X-Men tale, which you'll probably remember from the actual issues. Each story comes with a little kind of update, and it tells you where the story's at. But we get this stunning issue by Chris Claremont, and it's the first kind of time I'd really encountered the classic version of Sabretooth.
Wow.
And there's this superb battle with Wolverine and Sabretooth, which is just beautiful. Now, I haven't got this in American format, but this is a book I do desperately want, because this is, I think, one of the greatest Wolverine Sabretooth stories, battles that I have. And it's absolutely vicious. So, yeah. So I love that one. Absolutely love it. And like I say, I attribute this to me falling in love with comic books. That X-Men is Uncanny X-Men 213. So I'll have to hunt that one out. So yeah, picked that one up recently and just absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. But Efrain, before you show off your Raw book, I've got a bone to pick with you. You've made me spend money.
You're welcome.
You've made me spend money. So Efrain did, and please do go check out his channel for it. Efrain did a phenomenal video recently about how he stores his comic books and how he keeps them safe. And it made us think, I've got a bag that I take to cons, but I just kind of put the comics in the bags. So Efrain did a video about a box that you can get. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't get that box in the UK. So for some reason, Amazon weren't shipping that version, but I picked up a similar kind of thing. So these are hard case boxes, magnetically sealed. And then you open up and you can put your comics in it when you go to conventions, and keeps them nice and safe and secure. So just a plug, go check out Efrain's video, because he does a great kind of unboxing of, you got 2, didn't you?
Yeah, 2.
These similar boxes to this, which have got dividers in and things out for keeping your books safe. There you go.
So the only complaint I have about your book is why they have the Tumblr on the front cover. And
So,
it's like,
so the Tumblr is in a story of it.
yeah.
So within the book, we've got a Captain America story as well, which features the Tumblr.
Yeah.
Very weird character, isn't he? I don't think I've seen the Tumblr in
Yeah.
much, but just the artwork. This is when, God, I'm going to sound like a real old fart. This is when I think Marvel Comics artwork was at its absolute best. Look at that, man, by John. That image of Doc Samson punching out the Hulk. And then you've got the Captain America tale with artwork by, who is it? Herb Trimble. You can't, not Trimble, sorry. How do you spell it? Trippy, yeah. I mean, just...
Yeah, classic.
Love it.
Awesome.
Love it. There you go. I've prattled on enough.
Mine is just, I like yours a lot. And I have books similar to that. I'm going to bring them out next time, next month. I have different types of books besides comic books. They're comic book characters, but they're not just a regular book, which I did bring out. This is from 1969. This is your favorite character, one of your favorite characters, the Mighty Thor. There was a run with Galactus in them. I think it was by Jack Kirby, the artist, and I just pulled this one out. Is number 169.
I got that one. Yeah. I think, Efrain, from memory, and the guys in the chat might correct or let one know. I think this is one of the first couple, because the 2-issue run, that one. I think that's the first time we've got like the proper, full fleshed out origin of Galactus.
Okay.
And they go into his detailed background a little bit. But yeah, it's a beautiful cover. I love the negative space of Galactus. Yeah.
I just, what just popped in my head would have been so cool right now if Jack Kirby could have signed the Galactus like right here. Wouldn't that have been awesome? So yeah, this is my throwback book that I have here.
Beautiful. Have you got a Kirby signature?
No. I was hunting for one a while ago. Of course, I went on eBay, and there's some that, you know what? I may have one, but I have no idea where it's at, to be honest with you. He never signed much front covers. It's always like the first page.
So it's interesting you saying that, friends. I was just looking behind us to see if I can grab it. I've got a Thor book signed on the cover by Stan Lee. And on the inside of it, it's got a Jack Kirby signature. And I've never known whether to send it off to be graded or not, because then you don't get to see the Jack Kirby signature.
Yeah.
But I guess my fear is, what my look is like for forged signatures. I think it's genuine, but how do you know otherwise,
Yeah, you'll be disappointed if it's not. It comes back to the signature. Yeah. But yeah, this is just, I love these throwback. They don't make covers like this anymore.
Yeah.
And I think one of the main reasons these covers are so, to me, better than the ones we have now, because there's no there's only one cover.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you get like an annual or a reboot of a number 1 or Absolute Batman, as much as I love that, they come out with so many covers.
Yeah.
I just miss the days where it was just one cover. Yeah.
What about your CGC book, Efrain? What have you brought to show?
Okay, it's not a CGC book. This is a PSA book.
Okay.
I figured I'd show it to you. I did get this graded. It's came back a 5.0. I did get this graded at CGC, but I go, you know what? I'm going to crack it open and send it to PSA and see if it's the same grade. And it came out the exact same grade. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 129. Hang on, let me dim my, see if it won't be much of a glare. It's right here.
Nice. Very nice. 5.0 is a good grade as well for it.
Yeah, and these cases are quite heavy. Yeah, they are sturdy as heck.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, so I decided to get one from PSA. I don't think I'm ever going to use them again, to be honest with you. But I just wanted one. I got 2 of them, actually. I just rather get CGC, unfortunately.
Well, you say that, Efrain, but I might be asking. It's really funny you mentioning that, because I might be asking a favor of you. Yeah, so I've been speaking to some of the guys in the chat actually today. My son collects Pokemon cards, and he wants them PSA graded.
Okay,
but I don't know why PSA don't take international submissions at the moment, and there's nobody I can find. So I was going to chat with you off the show about sending you the cards and get you to send them in for us.
Sure.
But yeah, I do like the slab. I'm not convinced about the Red Banner and stuff yet. I think that's because they associate it with the CGC kind of. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, some people were saying that their banners or their labels should be more, I don't know, and eye-catching for people. That just more enticing. It's just like their cards. There's not much to it.
Yeah.
But I still want to get one, and like I said, this sturdy-wise, this beats the what out of CGCs. I'm sorry, this thing is thick,
solid.
Yeah, solid. Yep.
Okay. So my CGC book, it links to with sketches later on, is one of my favorite comics. We're doing a Thor show tonight. This is a first appearance of a stunning character by Walt Simonson, and it is Thor 337, the first appearance of Beta Ray Bill. I just love this character. I don't think he gets enough love, and we'd need to see him in a Marvel movie. I'd love to see him in a Marvel movie. But yeah, I think that's a classic cover, absolute beauty by Walt, and 9.4 grade. So yeah, it's one of my favorites.
I think technically he was in a Marvel movie, in the Thor movie with the Hulk. They had like a statue, a big statue of him in the back. I think like carved out. So technically he was in a movie. Yeah,
very awesome. Cool. Right, let's see what the chat are saying. Ian, Space Ghost was always on a Saturday morning. Oh, I missed that, Ian. I must have been in bed still, probably. T-shirt, it's amazing, Terry. Great quality. Hopefully we'll be on a show soon, showing it off. Yep, good stuff, Andy. We'll have to catch up about that, pal. Wayne had the annual. Yeah, had the annual. The reason you tear the little corner off is so you don't know how much your Aunt Pat spent on you for Christmas. Yeah. Nice to see you, Ken. Hope you're doing well. Chris with the awesome books. Good evening, Mr. McGroovy. Mr. McGroovy wants one of those boxes. I'll send you the link. I got it off Amazon. You get 2 in the pack. And Paul, really nice. X-Men 213 on eBay for less than a tenner. Oh, I might pick one up then, or I might try and get it at a con. I prefer buying for a con. Efrain, you seem to have got rid of the cabinet to your right. Is that going to become a picture wall?
Yes, I got rid of I had a desk over here. I got rid of it. What I'm planning to do is we're going to repaint the room, and I'm going to get shelving, and so I can just put some of my comic books up there. Yes, I'm going to remodel this one of these days. So it's in progress as we speak. I've just been tearing down stuff, basically. That's going to see all the stuff on the floor right here.
Where did you end up putting your Enterprise, Efrain? Your big Lego Enterprise?
I have another room in the back where I have my statues, and I just put it there. But that thing is so delicate. I'm afraid if I bump into it, it's just going to fall apart.
Yeah, yeah. That's the problem, isn't it? That's the problem with the Lego. Ken, out of curiosity, do you think most comic book dealers these days see negotiation as a threat? If so, why is that? Because from my experience, it was like this before the comic book boom of 2020. Do you mean negotiation in terms of price, Ken, when people are buying? So, Efrain, I know you've bought some big books and you've negotiated the price, haven't you?
Oh, heck yeah. Every time I go to a con, if I see a book, I usually have a list of what books have sold for recently, if I'm looking for specific books, and I start from there. I tell them, would you take this amount? And then if we just negotiate back and forth, and if I like what if we both come to agreement, they accept it. If you have cash, that even benefits you more, I think, because they just take cash for it, they're done with it, and I do bring in some of my books to trade also. And when I show them my books, they're going, this is the list price, but this is what I'm willing to pay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm the same way. This may be your list price, but this is what I'm willing to pay. It's not art. We don't argue over it. It's just a conversation I just have with them. If they don't budge, I went, okay, thanks. And I just walk away. But everybody knows the comic book prices have gone down.
Yeah.
So whether they're willing to make a deal for it or not, if they don't, I just walk away and just go to another vendor.
Yeah, and the thing is, there's plenty of opportunity now, isn't there, to pick up the books. I'm rubbish at negotiation. I'm rubbish. I get embarrassed. I don't know why. I just always have. So I tend to not negotiate unless it's something that I know is overpriced already. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So he said, did you see these negotiations? Do they see these negotiations as a threat? Everyone I've talked to about it, no, I don't think they consider it a threat. It's just part of the business.
I was going to say it's expected, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's expected. Yeah. We've got your lovely daughter in the chat. Hi, Dad. Heading to the airport. She's asking, what's your son's favorite Pokemon? So I was just looking. So I did a convention this weekend, and he sent us a list of cards to look for. I haven't got a clue what any of them are, but we've got Jinx, which is a weird purple thing with hair. I don't know. Solaris or something, which I don't know what that is either. Ditto, which looks like a herd of cows. Some weird duck thing with two heads. Don't know what on earth that is. I don't know Pokemon at all. And then Gengar. So at the convention, I managed to get him that card.
Nice.
So yeah. So he's into his Pokemon at the moment. Mine's Amara. It's like the little foot of a Pokemon, you know, from the dinosaur land. Oh, I love dinosaur. I love Land Before Time, Littlefoot. I remember going to see that at the. Have you seen that one, Efrain? I remember going to see it at the cinema and crying.
I might have seen it, but I don't remember. You know, I know the series, a TV show.
Yeah, so, I mean the movies were stunning, absolutely stunning. Would love Matt Berry to voice Beta Ray Bill. Yeah, that would be interesting. What he's playing. He did, to be fair, he did say on the show on Tuesday that you were going to come and decorate, I think. So I think you're down to paint the walls.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, she's someone who plans everything for me, and then I agree with it most of the time. So
don't worry, Peter. I've been helping my mates sell at Pokemon card shows and still no. Well, it was really embarrassing, Wayne, because I spent ages going around the Pokemon stores showing people these images, asking if anyone got any cards. I wasted so much time. And then at the end of it, one of the guys said, you're probably not going to get them because they're all first editions. They're hard to get, but never mind. Paul, give you a tenner for that Thor slab, Peter. We won't negotiate. You can have it, pal. You can have it. Your son should come to NECA for the Pokemon show we have on. Yeah, he's joining the army in 3 weeks' time, Ian. So,
wow.
Yeah, it's getting very close, Efrain. It's getting very close. We've got Sorrel in the chat. Good to see you, pal.
Hey.
Hope you're doing well. Have a great show. Thank you very much. Safe flight. Yeah. What's the biggest bargain you guys have ever had? Well, that's a good question. See, I don't think I'm very good at getting bargains. What about you, Efrain? Can you think of a bargain you've gotten?
Well, I mean, I had to pay a lot of money for them. I mean, they were bargains, you know, because I lowered the prices for them because, you know, I paid cash, but they were expensive. So it would have to be one of my Silver Age Marvel books, you know, that I'm going after right now, you know. So I'll let you know what the Thor, I need Iron Man and Hulk, and I've been seeing the prices go down and down for those, you know.
I guess in terms of a bargain for me, Ken, I don't think well, probably my biggest recent bargain is purely accidental. And it's a book Efrain mentioned before, which was Absolute Batman #1. For whatever reason, I bought a load of sketch covers for that, and I bought a load of variant covers and things like that. And then the price of the book went absolutely crazy. And people realized that actually the variant covers, the sketch covers, were cover A, just with a new cover stapled on them. So all of those books shot up in value, and I had about 10 copies of it. So I managed to sell each copy for around about 150, 200 pound for every copy. So I cleaned up on that. I made a lot of cash on that, which I invested into the comics. Paul, God bless you. God bless you. TripleG membership, Ken, is the best bargain out there. Thank you. Right, guys, let's crack on. We are talking still about the comics coming out in June. This is my little section where we're going to look at some of the first issues that are coming out in June. So books that are new that you might want to just have a little look at. Starting with this, we're getting a number of what ifs in June. This is a one that piqued my interest. This is What If Thor. And it's basically, I mean, Efrain, you'll remember in good old Secret Wars issue number 8, Spider-Man gets the Venom symbiote on Battleworld. Yeah. But a couple of issues before that, I think it is, there's a scene where Thor gets, well, you presume killed by Ultron. and he gets kind of his costume blasted off and everything. This book, I think, is going to pick up from that point on, and it's Thor getting the Venom costume instead of Spider-Man, which I think is a real interesting concept. So amid the chaos, there comes a costume, but not the hero you know. Legend has it that bond with the symbiote suit made Thor mightier. But what shadows lurk in the 10 realms? I think it's going to be quite good fun. And I love the cover artwork. What do you think?
Yeah, that looks pretty cool. I mean, I like the way they show part of his outfit, being, venomized. So I wonder if this is going to cover his face also, what's that going to look like? But yeah, I love what if stories.
Yeah, me too.
They can do whatever they want to do. They don't have to follow the Marvel, regular 616 universe. Yeah. This is, any storyline. So yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this book. I love this cover. This is awesome.
I'll give this a go because I do like you. I like a what if. I do like a what if. I think, we've talked about it before. I think the longer you read comics, the more you kind of start realizing that there's not a lot of jeopardy in them. So if I'm talking about like your Avengers, your Captain America, it's very rare that anything significant is going to bump off one of your main characters, if you know what I mean. Whereas with a what if, everything's just against the wall. You don't know what's happening because there's no consequence to anything because it's a separate universe, I guess. So yeah, love the what if tales. We've then got this. I think we've talked about this before, but this is Dead Man issue number 1. This is written by W.L. Maxwell Prince, who's a great writer who does Ice Cream Man, which is a book that I particularly enjoy. I'm not massively knowledgeable about Dead Man, even though I've watched a lot of Terry's videos and educated myself that way, but I've not read a lot of his books. So I'm interested in seeing what this is all about. Do love a bit of Maxwell Prince. So I think this could be a cracking little series. The Dead Man enters the next level. In the millisecond following his murder, the soul of shifty circus aerialist Boston Brand was commandeered by the goddess Rama Kushner, who deputized the Earth's, can't even say these words, the erstwhile performer's ghost with a sacred spectral assignment. I think this could be good fun. So yeah, going to give this one a go. What are you, Dead Man fan? Are you ready?
Gosh, I don't know, Peter. I'm not a Dead Man fan. I may read issue number 1, but if it's too convoluted for me, I don't know. This cover just doesn't grab me at all.
No, I agree with you. I don't think the cover is particularly good. Yeah.
We'll see.
An Ice Cream Man is an interesting book in terms of horror. Maxwell Prince has written a few other books, like Ha Ha he wrote, and he also wrote a recent Superman thing, which I wasn't keen on. So yeah, I'll give this one a go and see what it's like.
Exactly, give it a go.
Now, Efrain, I know what you're thinking. That's a picture of me on that cover, but it's not.
Yes, I love your arm.
Yeah, this is Tarzan. Now I don't know why, but I'm into a kind of a pulp heroes phase at the moment. I'm particularly enjoying Dick Tracy. Really enjoyed that. I've been reading a Rocketeer book recently, so I'm into those. Oh, and the Phantom. Really enjoying the Phantom. So I spotted this, and I thought, you know what? I'm keen to give this a go. I don't think I've ever read, other than Tarzan versus Predator, I don't think I've ever read a Tarzan book. I've seen lots of films and serials and stuff, but never read a comic, I don't think. So this sounds interesting to me. Tarzan returns to the world of comics with an all-new series. The years have been kind to the Lord of the Jungle and his faithful companion Jane. They've grown older, wiser, and carved out a peaceful existence after decades of adventuring. But not all good things are meant to last, as their world becomes threatened with the nefarious Blackbeard the pirate. So yeah, I think this could be fun. The cover artwork is stunning. I love that. So yeah, what do you think?
Oh, I'm definitely going to read this. I mean, it's just something different, and I'd never read a Tarzan book. I've seen the, movies every now and then. And I read that in Frozen, the animated movie, that the parents were lost and they lost on a ship and they had a little baby boy with them. Yeah. And that boy turned out to be Tarzan. Yeah. So I read that before somewhere. But I love this cover. I love the way your body just glistens, Peter, so I'm definitely going to read this book.
I work out, Efrain. I do work out. Yeah. So yeah, I think that will be a cool one. Cannot wait for this. This is Mask Mobile. typical Americans, Efrain. Just going to say it. Typical Americans. Spelling command with a key. Do you know what I mean? MASC stands for Mobile Armored Strike Command. Command being a key, obviously. Been a fan of MASC for years. Had all the toys. They've been recently introduced into the Energon universe. They appeared in G.I. Joe and they've been in Transformers now. This is the official kind of launch, I guess you would say. And even better, Efrain, it comes in a blind bag. You know I love a blind bag.
How many?
Well, I think I've ordered 5 of these, but I'm not sure. If I have ordered 5, I'm regretting it, and I might go back and order more, put it that way. But yeah, I can't wait for this. New series, the next phase of the Energon universe starts here. The world is becoming a terrifying place. Matt Tracker needs your help saving it. Enter MASC, a network of specialists recruited to respond to the next global emergency. Yeah, massive fan. Can't wait to see it. So it's saying here, the blind bags will include a chance to get any of the solicited MASC #1 covers, A to K, intermixed with a varying degree of rarity. However, there are rare surprise variant covers related to the Energon universe that can be found in these blind bags. Those surprise covers will not be announced publicly in advance of MASC issue 1. This is, for me, Efrain, how you do a blind bag. So Dynamite are ridiculous. Their blind bags aren't really particularly good. Skybound always chuck interesting stuff in, and to be fair, so do Marvel. The recent Daredevil blind bag had artwork by I've forgotten his name. The actors who played Daredevil and Kingpin did sketch covers and put them in. You know, the recent Ultimate Universe one had sketch covers by Robert Downey Jr. You know, so they're doing it properly. So I'm hoping this is good. You're not that familiar with MASC, are you?
That's another one, Peter, where I may read the first issue, you know, but I'm not into it, obviously, like you. I don't know, you know, the Energon universe, I liked it when it first came out, when they had those 2 warring races and they turned out to be the same race. I was reading that and a Transformer showed up after that, but it got so convoluted at the end that I just didn't finish that storyline. I just lost interest in it. You know, but like I said, I'll give any book a try, the first issue.
Yeah. Well worth picking up. Just on the note of blind bags, I got home from the Comic Con at the weekend. I forgot I ordered these to this. So this is a stack, all blind bags. So we've got a load of Thundercats Lost in Time. I've already opened these. I don't know why or when I've bought more, but I've already opened 5 of them buggers. So I don't know when I've ordered or reordered more of them bloody things. Why have I ordered that? Gargoyles and Darkwing Duck.
You probably sleepwalk, Peter, and then you go to the computer and you start, you know, buying stuff.
I think so. Thundar the Barbarian. Again, I'm sure I opened 3 or 4 of these the other day. So I don't know why I've ordered these. There's more of them bloody things.
Dang.
Elvira and Harley Quinn. Not a clue.
You should give those to Sorrel.
Yeah, and then Vampirella.
Wow.
Winter special blind bag. And I also, when I was away at the weekend, got 3 more copies of the Daredevil blind bag. So yeah, don't worry. I'm not going to do a full video on that because that'll bore everybody to bits.
I've never bought a blind bag.
You've never lived. You've never lived, Efrain. Get you into some blind bags. It's almost an obsession at this point. So this is an interesting one. I like the sound of this. I'm not a massive Jay Lee's art fan, but this did jump out at us. This is by Image Comics. It's M1 Monster Racing League. All new ongoing series launched from the legendary Jay Lee. When 17-year-old Dev moves to Japan, she stumbles into an underground world of illegal street racing where speed is power and mutation wins championships. I just think this sounds quite cool. So I'm not really sure what the monster element's going to be, but yeah, I thought this sounded quite interesting. Do you like Jay Lee's artwork?
Off and on. His artwork is so unique. I know everybody says about artists, but I've seen his art. I've seen some artworks of him of a Submariner. You know, I was like, dang, you know, he does. I went to talk to him once for a commission, but it was so expensive. I said, nah, I don't want to get it that bad.
Yeah.
But this storyline looks interesting.
Yeah, it does. It sounds cool. It sounds cool. So I'll give this one a go. Oh, look at that cover. So this is Universal Monsters, Blood of the Wolfman, part of their ongoing Universal kind of series of books. 4 issues by Joshua Williamson. And it's not a retelling of the movies. It's a new story. So the Wolfman reborn from a new generation. Adam Jaeger thought he could become someone new at college, but not like this. One moment he was partying, the next he's recovering from a massacre that left almost no survivors. I'm a big fan of horror, as you know, big fan of the Wolfman series. Covers for this are great. So yeah, I'll definitely give this one a go. I've been reading all of these. They've been hit and miss, I have to say. But looking forward to trying the Wolfman one. You be picking this one up, Efrain?
This is not the character from the movies, from Universal Studios movies. It's a different character. I
mean, Sorrel's still in the chat. He might tell otherwise. I don't think so. I think it's just a different kind of Wolfman character. I don't think it's linked to the kind of the original version. Adam Jaeger isn't a name that rings a bell.
This would be awesome as a version cover.
Yeah, well, as usual with these books, Efrain, there's a load of different cover options.
I may check into this one, see if they have a virgin cover of this. That looks awesome. Yeah.
Does look very cool, doesn't it?
Yep.
This was an interesting one. It just kind of jumped out because it's about a Koopa. You have to say it, Koopa Cabra, which is a monster. Yeah, Koopa Cabra, which is a monster I've heard of but not read a lot about. This is The Beast of the Boriken, issue number 1. A thrilling new true weird series from Tiny Onion, so the James Tynion kind of studio. So basically bring El Koopa Cabra to life in contemporary Puerto Rico. It's a fierce activist fighting the overdevelopment of the islands by outside investors when a groundbreaking ceremony is violently interrupted by a supernatural force. Sounds interesting. The cover looks pretty cool. It's by James Tynion. It's a new dark horse, what do you call it, kind of subcategory that I've not seen before. This black banner on the top, which is the true weird series. I've not really come across them before. So worth giving it a go, I think, just to have a little look-see. Right, next. Now, Efrain, have you ever read a Grendel comic?
Never. I know about the character, passing, reading about it just in stuff that I read online, but I've never read a Grendel book.
So that I'm exactly the same. It's a character as a comic book reader I'm familiar with in terms of I've heard people talk about Grendel. I've seen some of the covers and stuff, but I can't say I've ever sat and read a Grendel book. And I kind of feel I should. So I've heard a lot of people say positive things. So this is basically a jumping on point, I guess, for us. This is Grendel, Devil's Crucible, Sedition, issue number 1. I'm literally interested in this just to see if it piques my interest. Because I've not read it before. It says the Hounds of Orion have 2 new weapons in their arsenal. The Grendel Prime himself, back from 500-year absence, and a clone of the fierce, long-dead Grendel warrior, Christina Spar. Let one know in the chat, guys, if anybody's read any Grendel, and if you have, what do you recommend? Because it's a character I've never engaged with, but has been around a long, long time. So I kind of feel I should read something of theirs, Next, this is an interesting one. So this is Kingdom of Earth, issue 1 by, and again, I'll get the name wrong, by,
that's me.
It's all right. By David Dastmalchian. I can't say his name, Dastmalchian, but it's the guy from Suicide Squad and Deadpool. Yes. Not Deadpool. What do you call it? Dexter. He was in Dexter. Yeah. So
he did a possession movie too from some type of news station or something like that. Something about possession. Oh God, what was it called? Late Night with the Devil. He did. Yes, that was
very, very good. Very good. So 2036, and this sounds like an interesting premise. 2036, 2 years ago, hordes of monsters rose from the earth and sea, devouring everything in sight. Much of mankind was massacred before the monsters realized they needed humans. In this new world, humans have 2 options: service or slaughter. Just sounds like an interesting take. I loved the fact that the main character there's got the American flag kind of wrapped around her. Again, just to want to give a go and have a bit of a read and see if it's any good. Yeah, sounds interesting.
Yep.
Is there one you might read or?
Oh, heck yeah. I mean, I love these type of stories, you know, when their humankind is at, you know, their last straw, so to speak, and they fight back. So, yep, I'm going to read this for sure.
Give it a go. And then this interesting cover jumped out at us purely because it's by Mark Millar. And I like a lot of his work. So this is by Dark Horse. This is Star-Crossed issue #1 by Mark Millar. As I said, phenomenal writer, does some great work. Never heard anything about this one. Mark Millar seems to put out a lot of books that I don't really hear about until people realize they're great. So I want to get ahead with this one a bit. The 2 greatest thieves in the universe have a price in their head, and every single bounty hunter alive is out to collect it. Thena and Cody have been living the high life since they robbed the richest woman in the universe, but they put a price on their heads when they did so, and the galaxy's greatest bounty hunter is now after them for the biggest payday of their career. Sounds like that could be fun. The blonde character on the front reminds us a little bit of Jubilee from the X-Men. So yeah, I don't know. Boom Boom. I mean Boom Boom with the glasses and the blonde hair and everything. So yeah, love Mark's work. Are you a fan of Mark Millar, Efrain?
Oh yeah, from Kick-Ass. Yeah, ever since, you know, those types of books. And what was the other one about those race that never ages? I forgot the name of it. It was made into a TV show, I believe, also. I could be wrong.
But, he did. He did Nemesis. Really liked Nemesis.
Yeah.
Kick-Ass, Wanted. He's done loads of great stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm a big fan of his, and I like these type of stories. You know, it's just more down to earth, so to speak. You know, I don't think there's going to be any superheroes involved in this. You know, just 2 girls on the lamb.
Yeah, he did Jupiter's Legacy as well, which I really enjoyed.
That's the one I was talking about, Jupiter's Legacy. Yes, that was it.
They made a Netflix series of that, but it ended after season 1, sadly. Good stuff. Right, quickly jump to the chat, and then we'll look at sketch covers. Ian, I've got the original issues of issue 1 of What If. Yeah, very cool. Lovely books to have, Ian. Lovely books to have. What's the biggest book in terms of characters that you've got in your collection? I mean, everyone will pull out the big guns, I'm sure. But for me, it's... Well, I mean, Thor's my favorite book, but I wouldn't say Thor's the biggest character. I'd probably say my X-Men 1. All the original X-Men are probably the biggest characters, I guess you would argue. Efrain, you've got a titan of a big character book.
Well, everybody knows my favorite character is Daredevil. I'm fortunate enough to own that book, but I'm not sure in terms of character, just my own personal character, or just...
No, I think what Ken's meaning is in terms of like a popular character. What's your biggest book? It's got to be your AF-15. It doesn't get much bigger than Spider-Man.
Yeah, and I'm fortunate to have that book also. I would say AF-15.
Yeah. Did Deadman not join the JLA at one point? Not sure, Ian. I know he's been in a lot of crossovers. I don't know if he was a member of the Justice League. Not sure about that. Terry saying, sounds like they're just redoing Deadman's origin, but I hope not. That cover is crap. Yeah, I absolutely agree. It's not a good cover. Tarzan and Batman was good. The covers were painted beautifully. We don't remember that one, Terry. I'll have to have a look into that one. Paul's off. Nice to see you, pal. Hope you're doing. Hope you have a good night. We've got Luke. Nice to see you, Luke. Tuning in from sunny Zakynthos in Greece. Just to talk comics. Very nice. Oh, nice. I hope you're having a lovely time, pal. Very jealous. I'd love to be in.
Send us pictures.
Love to be in Greece. Yeah, love to be in Greece. Only fat. Yeah, I know. I cannot work it out, Terry. I need to. The problem is I order stuff and I forget what I've ordered, which is why I've got that pile of blind bags. I can't believe I would have only ordered 5 copies of Mask because it's one of my favorites. So the danger is I've already ordered 10 more for someone else. I need to look into it. I need to try and find out. You've changed 100 down to 5. Absolutely. No more blind bags, please. Watching Peter trying to get into them can be comic gold. Yeah. I'm definitely getting the blank Mask cover. Yeah. I don't think I've ordered any of them separately, Pod Racing, but there's a chance of getting them in the blind bag, which is why I think I didn't order them. But yeah, I'm probably going to need to get some more. Peter's like, Trump will try and order. How dare you? I bought a bunch of the blank Mask covers. Did you get any, Peter? I didn't order any specifically, Andy. I went for the blind bags instead, hoping that I get some in there. But I might have to try and, you know what I'm like. I'm going to end up buying loads of the bloody things. Gargoyles, Doctor Duck. Didn't know that was even a thing. Now I need one. Elvira for the win. Vampirella. Yeah. So you see, I knew it'd pique your interest with some of them. So. I suddenly feel much better about my shopping habits. Bet the covers on those two are going to be spicy. Yeah, I bet they're filth. Absolutely filth. Okay, well, turns out you haven't really changed at all. Yeah, Blood of the Wolfman is a new story. Okay, Talbot. I recognize that name.
That was it.
Yeah, I saw that white blank cover. I might have to get that one. Huratan, nice to see you, pal. Hope you're well. Do you like EC comic books? I do. I absolutely love EC horror comics. I haven't got a lot of them in my collection, but they are some great ones. Some good books coming up this next week. I'm excited for Fall of the House of Starlight. Yeah, we're going to touch on them in a second, pal. We've got the list to show. I do have been getting the reprinted collected books for EC. Yeah, you showed those off on your channel a little while ago. So very nice. Just noticed Dead Man was the founder of JLA Dark. Right. Okay, got you. There you go. Thank you for that. Okie dokie. Right, next section of the show, we're going to show off some sketch covers. So these are pieces of original artwork that both myself and Efrain really enjoyed collecting. You tend to get them from conventions and places like that when you pop along and see some of your favorite artists. So Efrain, what do you want to show?
So this one I picked up at a small convention by the San Diego area. I just went with a friend. This artist, I just asked him if he can draw this for me. It was very inexpensive for considering who this artist is. When I asked him, he asked me who did I want. I told him what character I wanted on there, and he said, "Well, who do you want? Barry Allen or the other
Wally West."
Wally West. And I was going to ask him, what's the difference? Not so much I knew about the characters, but I just picked one, and I didn't get it graded at the time, and I regret doing it now. Back then, but I submitted to CBCS. If everybody remembers them. Yeah. This is George Perez. He did this in 2015. Is the Flash cover here.
That is stunning. You've showed us that on another show before.
Yeah.
It's an absolute beauty. I've got a very similar one that I've not got graded yet, Efrain. But it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. One of my interesting. I don't go for a lot of DC characters, but the Flash is one of my favorite characters.
Yeah,
I love that.
So when he asked me between Wally West and the other one, I was like, "Is their outfits that different?" I didn't say that to him. But I forgot who I even chose. So I regret CGC was there at the day, and I just regret not getting it done right then and there.
Let's have a look at the back, Efrain. Yeah, I can't really tell. So if you turn it back around, again, someone in the chat might correct us, but the main difference from Wally West's costume and Barry Allen's costume is the belt. You can't really see it on there.
Okay.
So Barry Allen, the belt just goes around, whereas Wally West, it's kind of more jagged inwards into the center of his groin area. I think there's something about the earpieces as well, but that could be either, to be perfectly frank.
Yeah, this took him less than about 5 minutes to draw.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I was so fortunate to meet him. Such a nice person to talk to. Just when you talk to him, you could tell he you had his full attention. You got into talking to the fans.
Nice blow. Very nice. So sticking with tonight's theme, I've just shown you off a little while ago, first appearance of Beta Ray Bill. I picked this up recently, not had it graded yet, but I will. But this is by Walt again, and it is the head sketch of Beta Ray Bill. So really, really like that one. Really nice. Efrain, here's a question for you, and a question for the audience, because I don't know what to do about this. This is by Walt. It's beautiful. He's inked it. Really like that. And when you look, he's an artist that, can you see the pencil lines all over?
Yep.
He does his initial sketch and drawn kind of very random circles and things that give him a guide and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Now, when you look at it kind of in hand, it makes it look quite messy. The pencils kind of squiggles and stuff all over it. Can you see them there?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So here's the question. Do you leave that as it is, or do you take an eraser to it and rub out the pencil lines and just have the inked sketch? What do you think?
I don't know. Peter, to me, it makes it unique.
Yeah.
That he actually did work on it. I didn't mind it at all. I thought it was just part of the art.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's
so
a
you
goof.
let me know
Now,
what you decide.
I'm not going to be brave enough to rub it out. Now, I've got a confession. I wanted to show you this. I've got a confession. Sorrel, if you're still in the chat, I've bought a binder, Sorrel. I bought a ring binder. So we always give Sorrel some grief about these, but I've bought some proper comic book ring binders. And the reason I've done that is I have got a lot of comic books that are sketch covers now that I'm not necessarily going to get graded. So I've decided I've bought myself 5 of these little ring binders, these comic book ring binders, and I'm going to use them to house my sketches. So I've just started filling them out. This is all by Lost Boy, but basically you get around about 20 books in each binder, and I think that's how I'm going to store these now. I've gone down a bit of a rabbit hole, Efrain. I haven't got them all to hand, but I'm blaming Andy. I've bought binders for the sketch covers, and I've bought. Oh, I can't really get it off. I can't get it off. I bought a big portfolio for my bigger bits of artwork as well. So I'm starting to try, and instead of just having some of these books in long boxes, I'm starting to have them out on display a little bit more. A few comments in the chat. Love it when Efrain says small convention. Bet it still dwarfs a UK con. Yeah, probably right. Ken, for those of you who are based in the UK or have visited the UK, have you been into a comic shop called Unit 474 Collectibles? No, I haven't.
No, obviously me. No.
I don't think I have, Ken, but the name is ringing a bell, and I think I might have watched a few videos on that. Is that the shop where the owner is an interesting character and prices books up when you go to the counter and is quite aggressive? I might be wrong, but I know certainly there's a guy in Wales who people have done videos on. Andy, if you rub out the pencils, I'll never speak to you again. Yeah. I say leave them as it puts there as he put them there, kind of thing. Yeah, you're right. I would have said he left them. Yeah. Binder wanker. What's the difference between my binder and your binder? My binder says comic binder on the side.
Yeah.
So yeah, mine's a nice one.
Doesn't have three rings to it either.
Exactly. Yeah. Chris, it's the end of the world. Hashtag Andy's fault. Absolutely. We gave Sorrel some stick for this other week. Always give Sorrel stick for his binder, Luke, but it's not a proper binder. Oh, Sorrel's binder doesn't say comic binder on the side, pal. That's the difference. And exactly, Andrew, my binder was more pricey. I'd love to put my soups collection by in binders like that. Where did you get them? Amazon. I'll send you the link, Terry. I'll send you the link. Unit 74 is on the Global Geek Guide. Good stuff. Exactly, Andy. It's not the binder. It's the Polly Pockets. The difference is Peter makes it look good. Oh, I like that, Simon. I like that, Simon. Well done, mate. Yeah, well done. I've been to Unit 74 once, didn't leave much of an impression. Okay, right, guys, this is the bit where we'll have a quick look at the market. Last time we did this show, Efrain, you'll remember we looked at comic books from the month of March, I think it was. Yeah. Thought we'd have a little look-see at before we get to that, I should have mentioned, when we're talking about sketch covers and things like that, I wanted to do a bit more of a plug for the website that Andy, bless him, has worked incredibly hard on, TripleGComics.com. We've now got a local artist and commissions section. So basically, we've encouraged and we've supported a load of artists. I think there's about 10 people on there at the moment to submit a little blurb about themselves, some of their artwork, images, and then links to the socials. And you can use that to hit them up for commissions and things like that. There are some cracking artists on there who do amazing work. So please go check out www.triplegcomics.com. Have a little look-see at the local artists and commissions section and get yourself some commissions. Do us a favor, if you are getting yourselves a commission, please do say that you spotted them on the website, just to give them a bit of a nod that people are going to them from us. And also, if you know any artists, encourage them to fill out the form. Dead easy, free of charge, no cost involved to them, just a way of spreading their work. So please check that out. Okay, so yeah, market analysis. Thought we'd look at graphic novels, Efrain. So these are all of the graphic novels that sold in the month of March. What jumps out at you about that?
DC.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what? I was like, the way DC has come back, I don't know what they've done. I wouldn't call it a comeback. I don't know what you would call it, but they just have taken their comic books and the writers just up a notch. Yeah. It almost seems like they care more than Marvel right now. You know?
I just find it incredible that if you look at that list, these are graphic novels. It's a mix of softback and hardback, which is why you get some books on the same list. So you've got Absolute Batman Volume 1 is #1 seller, and then you've got in 11th place Absolute Batman Volume 1 The Zoo is still the same book, but it's the hardcover version. It just blows my mind that the only Marvel book you've got on there is Marvel Premier Collection Volume 8 at number 20, and it's Punisher Welcome Back Frank, which is an old story. That's not a new tale. That's, everything else is dominated, isn't it, by the Absolute universe. That comes out really, really cool. Last Ronin, still selling,
wow.
number 7 on the list, still 7. And then you've got, some classic Batman tales in there, and then you've got an Invincible book. So it blows my mind that Marvel's not more heavily featured on there.
I just never thought I'd see the day where DC is in the lead when it comes to comic books. To me, it was Marvel, everything that they did, but I think they rested on their laurels a little bit too much, and they haven't come up with anything new that will grab people's attention nowadays. We're talking about younger readers now too, who want better stuff. Us, who are older readers, we're into, older comic books and creators and characters, but they have reinvented these characters, and it seems to have stuck more with the general public.
I tell you something else that jumps out on that list, Efrain, which I think is great for the comic book audience and market. Is that if you look at a lot of these books, they are the new lines from Marvel and DC, I guess, of the compact editions. So, you've got Nightwing compact edition, Flash compact edition, Batman Long Halloween, so I don't know if you've seen them. These are the smaller versions of the books. I haven't got one to hand. It's not a full comic size. It's like a small, complete story. Okay. They're absolutely amazing for just grabbing and sticking in your suitcase when you go on holiday. That's what I read when I go on me hollybobs now, and they're all reasonable priced. So around $10 a book. Lovely little size, handy to stick in your bag or whatever. And you get a complete tale in it. So, I think they've really done well in terms of the market, in terms of grabbing people's attention and people jumping on them. So long may they continue, I think.
I wonder when the new Marvel movie comes out and everybody starts getting into it again, because everybody's coming back basically. I know that's going to switch the tide a little bit or change it, make the books more popular.
I don't know, Efrain. I don't know that. And again, I'm interested in the chat's thoughts. I don't know that your general movie public associate the film with the comic line.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at that list, it's nearly all things like absolutes, which really have nothing to do with the movies. Yes, it's big popular characters like Batman and Superman, but the absolute line has nothing to do with the cinematic universes. The one Marvel book on there, Welcome Back Frank, no Frank Castle movie out there either. I guess you could maybe say that people are interested because he was in the Spider-Man trailer in March and things like that, maybe. But yeah, it's just interesting. Interesting. Andy, where did you get those binders? I got them off Amazon, Andy. I'll send you the link, pal. I got them. Like I said, I got an art portfolio and a few other bits and bobs. Trying to organize my collection a little bit because I'm very conscious that I've got all of these long boxes behind us, and I want access to my books easier, if that makes sense. So my sketch covers, I want to be able to look at them. And if they're 4 long boxes deep, I'm just not going to get to them. So I'm trying to organize things a little bit more. I've seen comic binders on eBay. Yeah. You can get them on there. Talking about the guy who runs, Comic Guru, that's the one I know. Andrew. He's the one that's the shop that I've read or seen a lot of videos about. Ian, I'll have to get my brother to put down his name and stuff. He does the stuff he does amazing. Absolutely. Please do, Ian. pointing towards it. It's dead easy. Andy's made it so streamlined and so easy. It's dead easy. So please do get him to do that. Yeah, DC Combat Comics are cracking. I absolutely agree, Frank. I've got a few of them. In fact, I've just bought. I haven't got it in hand. Have I got it in hand? What was the? I haven't got it. Someone in the chat will remind us. What was the Grant Morrison one about dogs? Because I've just bought that in compact edition for my next holidays. So WE or something? WE 4 or 3 or something? I can't remember. But yeah, pick that up. Yeah, Frankie, you're right. $9.99 no matter the page count. I think that's a great deal. You can get some crackers as well. You can get Kingdom. Well, yeah, there's some great ones. 2% of the visitors to the website are French. Is that right? That's interesting. I am very popular with the French audience, obviously. Andy, obviously the French know class and style when they see it. So, you know, and they probably recognize my accent. Do you think Absolute put DC in front of Marvel? Marvel really has never had an answer to the Absolute universe. I think it did. So I think Absolute reinvented DC and really kind of reinvigorated things. Yeah,
definitely.
Really, my view of it for a while has been that Marvel had the best characters, but DC had blown them out of the water with the storytelling. Yeah, I think you're right. Spider-Man Brand New Day combat for $9.99. I dropped off Brand New Day a little bit, so I might have to pick that up. Absolute gave people a jumping on point, new story, new take, not years of continuity to worry about. Marvel hasn't had that level of reset since the Ultimate books. DC darker tone probs help pull in more adult readers. Marvel tends to be pandering kids' audience. Yeah. I last shopped in the Comic Guru store 12 years ago. Worst experience I've had. There's a lot of videos about that chap. Lots of videos about him. I've never been to Mile High. Have you, Efrain, ever been to Mile High?
No, heard of it, obviously, you know, but he used to go a lot to San Diego Comic-Con, the owner. He used to have a big booth, but it was just too expensive and he wasn't making much of a profit, so they quit going.
So I've seen a lot of videos about him, and he's, if you go back to some of your very old Marvel books, he used to have the kind of the double page spread in the books, selling comic books and things like that. Yeah, his store looks obscene. I think he's an interesting character as well. I've got a feeling he's I think he's a drag performer as well and stuff. But I've seen him on videos, YouTube videos, and his knowledge is phenomenal. But I've also seen YouTube videos where people have been trying to negotiate with him with price, and he's got books up that he's just not selling. He's not bothered about selling stuff. Yeah, it's like his collection now more than anything. Fuzzy of the Dunlop, nice to see you, pal. Hope you're well. W3, thank you very much. Yeah, W3. Yeah. Had to make it easy to ensure old Peter could work it, and I still struggle. I'm getting better, Andy. I'm getting better. I want to go to Jane Bob's Silent Star. I used to enjoy that YouTube, that TV show about them as well.
Me too. I was bummed out that they got, ended, I think, after season 2 or 3 or whatever it was.
Yeah. Andy's been to it. He never told us that story, Andy. You have to tell us next weekend when you're up.
I believe it's in New Jersey.
Yeah. Okie dokie. So, Second Chances just got the one this time, Efrain. I think you mentioned this. It's a reprint of an X-Men book.
Yeah, this is book is Legacy 331. I just love this book. Alex Ross cover. You see Jean Grey or Phoenix, and the actual Phoenix in the background. So I mean, anything with Alex Ross, it just grabs my attention. So this cover date is coming out in August, I believe. And it's Legacy 331. So it's from the X-Men books. And so it's not the first cover. It's like I don't think it's a second print, but I think it's like a variant cover. Okay. I believe for this one, but I just love this cover.
Alex is doing a load of new covers, isn't he? I know he's got a load of new Marvel covers coming. So yeah, absolutely love.
I have never seen him at a convention. Yeah. He's got he always has a big booth at Comic-Con. And I asked the people that were working there, because he just doesn't do it. Doesn't like going to conventions. That's too bad.
Do you know what? I know we've talked a lot. An interesting question for the chat. If you could get a piece of artwork or a sketch cover by one artist, who would it be? Who's your grail piece from? For me, it's Alex Ross. But I know I'm never going to be afford a piece from him because the prices the original artwork go for, and you never find it on eBay. I've got a search thing for remarks, sketches by Alex Ross, and you never really see. I don't think he does a lot of remarks, things like that.
I've never seen it. Mine would be, and I almost reached out to him once. John Byrne.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, I was into comic books, you know, before him, but what he did on the X-Men covers, that just brought it up a notch for me of being a really big comic book reader and collector. It would be John Byrne. I don't think I've never seen him do a signature like a comic book, you know, for CGC or whatever. I don't think he's ever done it, you know. Yeah. I'm sure there are some signatures of his around, I'm sure, but I would love to get they were expensive back then.
Yeah.
I found his website and I was going to write into him and everything and order something, but I just never did.
So here's a slight side note before we go to the chat. Just speaking about original artwork, I was reading a Facebook post today about, you know, of Kickstarter, Efrain.
Yes.
Yeah, you heard of Kickstarter? So did you know Rob Liefeld did a Kickstarter about 10 years ago? So he did a Kickstarter 10 years ago, and one of the tiers was you got an original piece of art by Rob. This guy was on Instagram or Facebook, whatever it was today, saying, still not paid up, still not got it. Paid the money. Yeah. Rob Liefeld is still saying, oh no, I'll get to it at some point. 10 years he's been waiting for this piece of work.
For it?
Yeah. Part of the Kickstarter program. Apparently, I think it was for Brigade or something, Brigade issue 1 or something. But apparently loads of people just didn't get their the stuff. Which is just appalling.
Couldn't you do a lawsuit against him or sue him?
You could against him. Kickstarter is really interesting. I get a lot of stuff from Kickstarter. But basically it's written into their contract that there's no guarantee that you get what you pay for from Kickstarter. You can't approach them to kind of support you and anything like that. So yeah, it's dodgy.
That's shameful. That is shameful. I don't care what he says.
For a big artist like Rob Liefeld, I think it's absolutely appalling.
Yeah.
Right, let's just quickly see what the chat is saying. Lads, have to give credit where credit is due. Great show, and I hate most things. Thank you, Andy. That means a lot.
Thank you.
I bought several thousand books from Mile High when we had 70% discount and free shipping many moons ago. Yeah. I went to the comic shop in Santa Cruz that had vampire comics from Lost Boys. Oh, very cool. Really? Very cool. I like that. Andy would like a sketch by Chris Bell. I saw that comment, and Andy, I have an original piece of artwork from Chris Bell.
Nice.
Look at that. Chris Bell was kind enough to send us this a little while ago. This is a Battle Beast versus Battle Cat piece, and it is one of my favorite pieces in my collection. I absolutely love it. So yeah, nice piece from Chris there. Nice piece from us. Not gonna happen, Fuzzy. Not gonna happen. Fuzzy would like a sketch cover by Rolf Harris. Yeah. Not possible, but he's sadly passed. Luis Dominguez, who was, you know that name, Efrain?
No, I heard of him.
Let us know, Chris.
Yeah,
let us know what books he did, Chris. I'm not recognizing the name. Michael Turner. Yeah, Michael Turner's artwork's iconic, isn't it? Ron Lim, Thanos Quest. That would be very cool as well. Very cool. Chris, impeccable taste as always. Would love to own a Gene Colan Dracula Blade. Yeah, that would be very cool. Tony Hart and Morph. Tony Hart, Efrain, is a legend over in the UK, artist. Lovely guy. What's your most favorite comic book artist of all time? Mine's Neil Adams, cracking stuff. John Buscema, what's yours? That's such a hard question, Ken. It changes so often. I have to say, my standard stock answer for that is Alex Ross. But just being shown years off. Just been showing you off this album as we've been talking about, and as I was looking through it, I don't know. As I was looking through it, John Brown's work. That's in my memory, in my head. That's my childhood Marvel artwork. Do you know what I mean? I just think his work's absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Proper comic book artist. So yeah, love that. What about you, Efrain?
Like you said, there's so many artists. Like I say, Jack King Kirby, his artwork is so unique, and Alex Ross is right up there too. There's so many out there. It's so hard to pinpoint. But if I had to get one right now, it would again be John Byrne. Alex Ross is a close second, though. I'm talking about sketch covers, but there's so many. I just want to see a new cover, a new artist one. Wow, they're so cool. Art Durham, Stanley Lau, love his artwork. I mean, there's so many to choose from. I don't think I have a favorite. I just enjoy them all.
Just love art.
Yeah.
Fuzzy saying the Rob sketch, it's a foot, you'll get it eventually. That art's awesome, dude. I have several Bell originals ready for when he hits it big. I have a Bell piece, Jock homage. I have it framed. Very nice. Very nice. Bronze Age horror to me, and one of the top 3 of the genre. Yeah. Oh, for that chap you mentioned, he gets some beautiful of the original, the horror genre artwork. How does that album smell? Like sex on a stick, Andy. It's lush. As we're on artists and everyone has name and legends, is there any artist you really like who's younger than you?
Everybody's younger than me, so that's easy.
That's a hard one, Andrew. I have to say, excuse me, I'm a big fan of. Have I got his artwork here? I have. I'm a big fan of a lady who I've met via Thought Bubble. There you go, Fuzzy. Thought Bubble mentioned. Called Sylvia, who does just beautiful artwork, painted, fully drawn covers. Who does a lot of Star Wars work. So yeah, and she's a lovely lady to chat with. Also a big fan of Casey Parsons, who did as my Keaton Batman. So yeah, lots of good artists. He did some work on Jonah Hex as well, Chris. That's not Peter No Memory. I haven't. You're right. Belly is amazing. Everyone is younger than Pete. How dare you, sir? Zoe Thorogood. Yeah, she's a nice artist. I like her work as well. David Acosta, who does a lot of the Elvira books. Yeah. Well, that's who Sylvia's famous for as well. She does a lot of Elvira stuff as well. Okay, guys, let's crack on and get through the rest of the show. Comic book reviews, couple of reviews for you before we'll start to call it a night. Efrain, Alien versus Captain America.
So this is written by Frank Thierry, was the writer. Stefano Raffaelli was the artist. This book just ended recently, and it could be a movie as far as I'm concerned. This takes place basically in World War II, where Captain America and Bucky, it has Nick Fury, it has Captain Marvel, the original Captain Marvel, and some other characters. And they, Hydra or Nazis, they're going after this artifact, but it's not an artifact, excuse me. They find a different life form. It happens to be the alien life form. So they're trying to obviously capture them and help them, during World War II. And sorry, I'm gonna talk about spoilers here. The Red Skull merges with an alien and it becomes like a hybrid and that's the main character, and they're trying to overtake, the Allies. It's just a good storyline. Obviously Cap and everybody else wins at the end, but then at the very end of the story, there's a big twist. If you don't want to hear it, just turn us off right now. But they find them frozen again. He disappears, the whole thing about, Captain America being frozen. And the Winter Soldiers in this one, they find him. They finally find him. They start to thaw him out, and they show the shield right there, and they say, "Wait a minute, there's something behind the shield," and an alien pops out, and that's where the story ends.
Yeah,
I was like, "Oh my god, this is so good!" I love the ending. I was like, and then it says "ending?" ? It's just a good read. I think it's 4 or 5 issues long. This whole Alien versus Spider-Man, Wolverine, Black Panther, to me, they've been hitting them out of the park.
Yeah, and it's a brutal story as well, isn't it? There's a lot of death and dying in that series. Yeah. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was really, really well done. Loved the twist ending.
Yep.
So yeah, great book. Great book. Well, we're picking that one up and treating it back.
The ending was so good. I went, oh my God, you got to continue this. Yeah. Yeah.
So I've gone for Daredevil issue number 2. I have been reading a fair bit of Daredevil over the last few years in particular. I kind of lost a bit of traction with the last series where he couldn't remember who he was and he was a priest and things like that. Picked up issue 1 of this, absolutely loved it. So I thought I'd give issue 2 a go just to see if it maintains the quality. This blew us away. This is a great book. Loving the story, loving the artwork. If you're not up to speed with it, basically it's a good jumping on point from issue 1's a good jumping on point. And basically Matt's now a law lecturer at a university or a college. And we've been introduced to this new character who is collecting people's eyeballs for some reason. And Daredevil can't see him on his radar. He's kind of blind to him. First issue ended with the guy saying basically Matt Murdock is going to die and pushing Daredevil out of a window. This issue picks up with that. We'll have Daredevil finding the owl and trying to find out who this guy is and stuff. It's just cracking read, cracking artwork. I'm excited about Daredevil again, which is nice. So this is definitely on my pull list. I'd continue reading this one. Well worth a read. Well worth a read.
Daredevil is such a haunted character. I don't mean by spirit or something like that. Just his whole life has just been haunted, with his father dying. Just from then on, Karen Page in a comic book, she was a drug addict. She's not around anymore. Foggy Nelson just going through hell, being his friend. His Elektra, she became Daredevil, but he messed her up again, and he's just haunted his whole life. It seems like he can't have any happiness,
Tortured character.
That's it. Thank you. Tortured character. Yep, that's it. Yeah.
Andy's saying Zoe Thorogood is amazing. I've got Impending Blindness of Billy Scott, Andy. I've not managed to read it yet. It's on my shelf here of things to try and pick up. So yeah, I'll get onto that one and have a.
Is that a new book?
It's been out for a while. So yeah, I'll check that one out. Okie dokie. So quickly looking at comic books using the League of Comic Geeks as a bit of a guide. These are the books that are coming out next week. So these are books released next Wednesday. We've got some interesting ones coming out. Efrain will just canter through these, and any that jump out, please just shout. We've got obviously Bleeding Hearts there. You already mentioned that. I presume you're going to be reading that.
Something is Killing the Children. There you go. That's one of the books that I picked. Yep. The very first one. I've been digging the Mortal Thor.
Yeah. That's been pretty cool. I really enjoyed The Fury of Firestorm, issue number 1. So I'll definitely be picking up issue 2. It's a good mix of horror and classic storytelling. Really like that one. We've got your Barbara Gordon breakout issue number 1. You mentioned that issue 2 before there. Really, really like that. Some decent books there already. Dork. I don't know if anybody's still. Are you reading Dork, Efrain?
Yes, I have. Yeah. So reading it. I got caught up. I think I read issue 2 or 3. I've been reading them. So it's a good story. I've enjoyed it.
It's easy reading. I don't know that it's worth the hype that it's got, but it is easy reading. World Tree. Interested in the chat. If anybody's still reading World Tree, I dropped completely off that. It's just too complicated.
Department of Truth, when it first came out, I loved it.
Yeah.
But I haven't read it in years.
Yeah. There's a few there that are just too complex. Yeah. And I read the first issue of Magic and Colossus, but I've not read on. So I'll give that a go at some point. We've got Spider-Man Venom Null, another Null series. None of them jump out at us. Let's just change that so we can actually see the books properly. Just a second. There we go. Hello Darkness. I'm never getting into that either. There's your Space Ghost you mentioned, Efrain.
Yeah, I've been reading Hello Darkness. They're short stories, so.
The Thing on the Doorstep, issue 4. That's a good book. I've been enjoying that one. Kind of a very kind of witches and things like that. That's a good fun read. Archie X, Army of Darkness. I know Sorrel's interested in that one. Yeah, bit of Godzilla versus America, Texas one. I'll be passing on that one. Not interested.
Me too. I don't think I'm going to be reading it.
Some good books. Hidden Strings. Not seen that one before. Dead by Daylight. I know again. Sorrel mentioned that one a little while ago. Has been quite interesting. Good horror. Gachi Man. And then we've got some reprint books coming up. So some decent books next week.
There's Daredevil.
Oh. Yeah. There's Daredevil 1 reprint of Daredevil.
One. Okay.
Yeah. So some good books. There's a few on my list there that I'll be definitely picking up. Yeah. Quite cool.
Cool.
Okie dokie. That is us at the end of the show. I just wanted to hang on, bring that up. Wanted to mention that Efrain's got a new video out, so please go check that out, where he's doing room tours, which is really cool. So well worth checking that out. Efrain, anything else coming up on the channel you want to mention?
No. I mean, I may do another tour. My friend is going to come on and show his space off. And next Tuesday is our weekly show, which I always enjoy, talking about geek culture and stuff like that. So
good stuff.
I always like looking forward to Tuesday shows with you. And whatever else pops in my mind, I may put YouTube shorts out every now and then. Just having fun.
Fantastic, good stuff. Tomorrow night, apparently, we've got One Good Scare. James is gung ho to set that up. Well, I've set it up, so hopefully that'll be happening tomorrow. Sorrel's joining me on that one to talk horror, so that should be fun. And then on Tuesday, we've got our show, as we've said. Tonight, I've put out a video about me picking up a vintage Snake Mountain. So please go check that video out and give my William Shatner video a check out as well. We've got lots of content out there at the moment. Thank you so much, everybody that's watching tonight. We've got loads and loads of people in the chat. It's been really good. Conversation has been buzzing. We've got Comic Deal in the chat. Nice to see you, pal. Lots and lots of conversation happening in the chat. So thank you very much for that. We do appreciate it. For now, though, that's your whack. Thank you so much for watching. And we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.
Bye.